Hey guys, welcome to Off the GridCast. I am your host, Danny Cox, and we're going to go off the GridCast to the American Open that was in Washington, D.C. this year. There were some NPGL athletes that we caught up with. And by the way, this is our first time doing Off the GridCast. We used a little bit of different equipment than we're typically used to. So for any of the comments that we used or any comments that were made to the athletes that you can't really hear me very well, we're going to go ahead and write down what we said and what we asked of the athletes underneath. So I apologize for that. We'll get better as we go along. We're kind of learning as we go. But anyway, we caught up with Ricky Reedus. He is recently a free agent, formerly from the Miami Surge. We caught up with him for a quick interview. Just as a recap, he was able to get a 295 total and got 5th place overall in the 94 kilogram category. So we're going to take it away to Ricky Reedus. So how did the training for Olympic lifting help you with the grid?
Well, grid involves so much Olympic weightlifting. The training for my Olympic weightlifting, competing in meets like this, like the American Open, it pays off dividends. It's huge because there's so many barbell lifts and grid, fast Olympic weightlifting. That's essentially all it is, Olympic weightlifting with tons of reps.
Now, did you specifically train for the American Open? Or are you training your GridCast or your grid training and NPGL training and CrossFit training get you to get in there?
It was a mix of all of it. Yeah, absolutely. So training for this while also keeping my grid scores ready. Going to submit those next week. Yeah. So yeah, doing all of it.
So what are your plans for next season?
Next season, well, I'm a free agent right now.
Yeah,
so yeah, got a few teams in mind. So I want to go and play next year, play my heart out.
Talking to a couple different teams?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, awesome. Very good. Very good. So, so do you, as a free agent, do you have to go through the whole process again, win the grid score, go to pro days, the whole nine, or can someone get you right now?
So, interesting question about that. So, it's season 2. They're still making up a lot of the rules for the league. So, the way it's going to work, you have a choice. You can go through the draft process all over again, or you can get signed beforehand. And if you have good enough grid scores, yada, 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 you can kind of pick. It's up to you, yeah.
All right, awesome. Is there anything you want to say to your fans out there?
Hey, guys. Thanks for watching. Keep tuning in to the GridCast. We've got a lot of good stuff coming your way.
Awesome. All right, thanks a lot.
4-1. Comes Robert Israel, 242 on platform 2. Kite piece off deck. The shoes in the hole.
Okay. Thanks, Ricky. And so next up, we caught up with Christy Atkins. She is from the DC Brawlers. She was in the 63 kilogram weight class with Nicole Capurso, and she's going to be up in a couple seconds. She was also in the weight class with Gretchen Kittleberger and Sam Briggs as well. So we caught up with Christy Atkins. She is an incredible athlete from DC Brawlers, a very big sweetheart. Works out 6 hours a day, 3 hours for grid training, 3 hours for CrossFit in general. And she's just an overall badass. So check out what she has to say. So, did you specifically train for the for the American Open, or did your CrossFit and grid training get you here?
Well, there's a little of both to that answer. I did my qualifying meet. I did my qualifying meet for the American Open at the Hook Grip Open, which was the weekend after the DC Brawlers, after we won the championship. So we won the championship on Wednesday night, and I flew back to the East Coast on Friday, and then I lifted on Saturday. And so I have to say my grid training and my CrossFit training got me the qualifying total. The snatches at the Hook Grip Open, the snatches I went 3 for 3, and then the clean and jerks were funny, and I blame it on grid. Grid, I'd been power cleaning for 2 months. I went to squat clean my first one, and it just was like bam on my shoulders before I even went down, and it surprised me so much that I missed the jerk. Then the second one, I tried to squat clean, messed that up, and then the third one I just was like, screw it, I'm gonna power clean. That's what I've been doing with grid. It's like fast, get it to your shoulders and get overhead. So I did that at the Hook Grip Open.
We went 3 for 3 for the clean and jerks this time.
Yeah, so then
awesome.
Thank you. So this time around, the last 5 weeks, it's been a very specific American Open prep. The program is from Kara Heads, my Olympic weightlifting coach. And so trying to think about a little more finesse, channeling that focus into your 3 lifts rather than grid speed, hit the ladder, boom, boom, boom. And so it was a it was a nice balance that got me to the American Open this year.
So how does the training for the American Open or competing in the American Open help you out in the grid?
Well, training for the American Open helps me in grid training because it's getting me lifting heavy and it's getting me lifting in a pressure situation. And that was really my main goal when I decided to train for the American Open and compete today, was to use this as a learning opportunity to hit the lifts when everyone's eyes are on you and the pressure's on. And that's what happens in the grid when you're running the ladder or when you're out there doing the mirror event. It's you looking at your teammate, and you don't want to mess up. So it's really good mental training as well as getting you under heavy weights, which is what you do in grid all the time.
And did you get the score you were looking to achieve here at the American Open?
I did not get the score I was looking to achieve. My goal was to go 6 for 6. My snatch lifts, I made my opener. I didn't get 3 white lights for my second attempt.
So close.
It was a little bit funky in the elbow, and then the third attempt I missed. But my clean and jerk was an Olympic lifting competition PR, and so I was really happy with that it not only flies in the CrossFit or grid setting, but it was like a nice clean lift. No pun intended.
95 kilos, pretty bomb.
Thank you.
Right? Yeah.
I was pumped with that. That's one of those milestones. So.
It's awesome. All right,
Thanks.
well, congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Go get it. Come on,
Going to left.
Thanks, Christy. And so next person we caught up with was Nicole Capurso. Nicole was actually coached by her teammate from the Miami Surge, Marco Coppola. And Nicole did pretty well at the Open. She was competing with Gretchen Kittelberger and Sam Briggs and Christy Adkins, like I said before. And she was able to get 9th overall total with a 170 kilogram total. She was really sweet. We even think we might have caught a wink or two from her. But anyway, check out Nicole right here. So you have a new coach with Doug Chapman. So what do you think so far?
Yeah, so our new coach, Doug Chapman, I'm really excited about having him as part of our staff and as our leader this year. I know him, his name all over from, being in the CrossFit world and being super successful with his athletes there. And I talked with him a few times on the phone now. We haven't got the chance to meet yet. But since I signed, I've had a few conversations with him, and his drive and plan for the season just seems to be so on point with me as an athlete that I'm really looking forward to working with him and playing for him.
Great, and great job at the American Open, by the way. And did you specifically train for weightlifting first, or was the grid and CrossFit first and then weightlifting followed?
Yeah, so I was I played basketball in college, and out of college I started working out at a CrossFit gym, like pretty much every ex-athlete. And then I realized I was kind of good enough to start competing. I'm very, I guess my strengths would be moving the barbell and using my strength and explosiveness to kind of power myself through workouts. And I think the grid gave me that opportunity to kind of step more in that direction and a little less in the gymnastics direction. I've been working hard on my gymnastics because I think it's a vital part of being a great athlete and stuff like that. But I really like the grid where I can kind of specialize a bit. And then I got into weightlifting after that. For my size and weight class, I'm relatively strong and can move the barbell well, and that's constantly a work in progress. But yeah, definitely CrossFit and exercise brought me to weightlifting.
Awesome, very good. So how does a competition like this at the American Open prepare you for the grid?
Yeah, so it's very nerve-wracking. Weightlifting, I've played many sports now. I played, college basketball. I've played CrossFit. I've competed in grid, and there's nothing like going out on the platform alone in front of a crowd with all this madness going on and having to perform and having to hit one lift. I've been to meets where I haven't hit a snatch or haven't hit a clean and jerk, and every one of those meets is a learning experience. Today I was about 12K under my best ever total PR in the gym, and that seems like a huge number, but it's really not. Being out in front of, on the stage at a national event, if you can match your home training comfortable PR, then you're great, So yeah.
To me, getting a score at all on the national stage in front of all those people is a success in itself.
Correct. Yeah, and at the American Open last year, I totaled 160K, which was 10K below what I totaled today, and that's 1 year ago, so that's 12 months basically to the day. 6 months ago at Nationals, I missed all my snatches in Utah, so I traveled all the way out to Utah and missed all my snatches, and so today I went in, weight wasn't an issue, I didn't have to cut, I was right on, actually a little under, comfortable, eating well, and ready to go, confident in my lifts because I've worked on them so much, and I feel good about today.
So are you going to be going out for the CrossFit Games? Are you going to be doing the Open, or are you solely going for Grid?
Yeah, so I haven't really made that decision yet. My coach and I have talked a lot about being a Grid athlete and being a weightlifter exclusively, especially with all the changes CrossFit made this year. I'm relatively young in the sport. I've only been doing CrossFit for about a year, and so I don't really know what it's going to hold for me. I'm grateful that I found weightlifting and found the Grid to have other avenues in case CrossFit doesn't work out, but I'm kind of the type of athlete that's going to take what they can, and if CrossFit works for me this year, it does. If it doesn't, then I have Grid in weightlifting.
So the Miami Surge only lost one match last year to the DC Brawlers. So what's your prediction for the 2015 season?
Oh, we're going to be good. We are going to be really good in 2015. I think we understand Grid a lot more. I think the new coach addition is going to make a huge difference, a very experienced guy. And we're ready. We're hungry. We don't really love the fact that we were almost there. And so it's going to be a fun season.
Good driving force. All right, so if you have one more thing to say to your fans, last question. One thing to say to your fans, look into the camera and say whatever you want to the fans.
Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting Grid this past season. And keep watching, man. We're going to do some crazy stuff.
All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. All right, so we caught up with Marco Coppola. He actually lifted on Sunday. Unfortunately, we didn't get any tape from Marco. But we were able to catch up with him after the session of coaching Nicole during her session, and we got to ask him a few questions. Nicole actually asked us to do a special favor and ask Mark not to be a dick on camera, and I have to say that he was not a dick on camera. So thanks, Marco, for meeting up with us, and check out Marco's interview right here. So you have a new coach this year from the Miami Surge, Doug Chapman. Have you had a chance to meet him yet?
I haven't had a chance to meet him in person yet. I did talk to him just the other day. He wanted to talk about some training with me, and I updated him where I was at and the fact that I was training for weightlifting. So we're going to talk again after this, pretty much after Sunday after I'm done lifting. So we'll get back on it next week and get back after training for the Grid and some other stuff. So.
I see you're competing tomorrow for the 105. I'm actually going to be commentating that online on the web version. So good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun. 105 session. I think I start at 11, so I'm excited. 11 in the morning.
Yeah. So what was first? Was weightlifting first, or was CrossFit and the Grid first?
I'd say that the first thing that came to me was actually football, and that got me into weightlifting, or what I thought was weightlifting. Let's just be honest, it was more power cleans and squats and stuff, but and still snatch, but I had no idea how to do it correctly. I just was pretty much just muscling through my motions. Did clean though and snatch though previously, so I had the kind of the idea of what I thought was right. And then when I got into CrossFit, I actually started to figure out more of the finer details of weightlifting and how the actual technique and actually squatting the movement, the full movement, not just powering through power snatches and power cleans, but actually learning how to make the proper motion, keep the bar path, all that. I pretty much knew nothing before other than how to pull on something hard. And then once I got into CrossFit, it kind of taught me and led me in that direction. And then after, I guess I was in CrossFit for about a year until I was highly encouraged to do some weightlifting meets, and then finally did it, and then qualified, and then did the American Open. That's how I kind of just rolled from there. And I really enjoy doing all the things that I do. So I get a little flack every once in a while for doing so many, but I like doing it that way. So.
I don't think you're the only one that gets the flack for doing so many. So what? How long have you been doing CrossFit?
I'd say I'd have to do the math, but I think it's about 3.5 years. I think it's 3.5, yeah.
And how does competitions like this prepare you for the Grid?
I guess, you learn the patience, and you learn kind of how to go up and down. So meaning like you have a long break, sometimes you have a short break. The same thing happens on the grid. On the grid, I might be in a race in the very beginning, or I might be sitting out of the first race. Usually I'm involved in those first races, but you might have a longer haul, so you might be sitting down a race and a half. Which is a pretty long time. It can be up to 15, 20 minutes with the breaks, the commercial breaks, and the just the fan spectator stuff in between, and the match itself. So in weightlifting, sometimes you have to take that big break. You're going to have to be able to teach yourself how to stay warm, stay focused, but also stay calm and don't stay tense the whole time. You're not wasting energy, and so that kind of relates that way. And then obviously the movements, they're explosive. We change those movements a little bit on the grid, and sometimes you're doing them a little bit faster usually. So things do change a little bit. Your setup's quite different, but it definitely does relate and prepare you for it.
All right, so if you're going to say one more thing, one more question, if you want to say anything to your fans, look into the camera and let them know what you think.
I really appreciate you guys supporting us on the grid this first season. It was really fun. We had a great time. Our fan support in each place that we went was pretty awesome, and we really look forward to next season. And hopefully the idea is to improve this year and come back and win a championship. We're doing this for one reason, and that is to win, and we really want you guys to be involved. So we look forward to seeing everybody next year. Come out and just see us as many events as you can and have some fun with us, and ask us and talk to us after the match. We'd love to meet you guys.
Power Surge.
Power Surge.
So last but not least is Sarabeth Phillips from the New York Rhinos. Hashtag Grid Crush. Am I right? Anyway, so she was in the very competitive 58 kilogram weight class, and she ended up getting gold. She actually got silver on the snatch, which was for 80 kilograms, which is 176 pounds. So she got silver in that specific lift. Then she got 101 kilogram total at 222 pounds for the clean and jerk, and got gold in the clean and jerk, and then got gold overall with 181 total. That former gymnast, badass, overall really good athlete, is the biggest sweetheart you'll ever meet. And so you can check out her interview right here.
Okay, 95 remains on the red platform. Good. Third attempt, clear. The best field on deck.
Did you specifically train for the weightlifting, or did CrossFit and the Grid training get you here?
Well, I would first have to say that CrossFit and the Grid came first. I started CrossFit a long time ago, and it definitely got me into weightlifting, so I have to give credit there. And that's why I love CrossFit, because it can get you so good at so many other things. But then I started training for weightlifting, and I do specifically train for weightlifting when a big meet comes up. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And you went, was it 5 for 6?
5 for 6.
And got first place, so congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
So how does competing in something like this help you in Grid?
This training goes hand in hand with my Grid training. It makes me stronger for barbell cycling, and that's exactly what I need to work on. Just being that utility player. I think I'll always be good at the gymnastic stuff, although I do work on that as well. But barbell cycling, if you're stronger overall, you're going to be better at that. So it goes hand in hand. It only makes me stronger for the Grid. Right. Mm-hmm.
So one more question. If you wanted to say something to your fans, what would it be?
I would say thank you from the bottom of my heart to all of my fans. I appreciate so much of the support and the outpouring of love that I feel every time I get on the platform or get on the Grid or just compete in general. It's amazing, and I couldn't be more thankful for all of them.
And your prediction for the win of the 2015 NPGL season is?
New York Rhinos, all the way.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And the gold medalist in the women's 58 kilo category from Alabama, Sarabeth Phillips. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your total winners for the women's 58 kilo weight category for the 2014 American Open.
So thanks for joining us off the GridCast. Thanks for all the NPGL athletes for meeting up with us. American Open was so freaking badass, And if you ever get the chance to go to the American Open, please do yourself a favor and go check it out. So remember, follow us on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube page. And definitely check us out at thegridcast.com and sign up for our newsletter so you can always be informed on all of our projects, not just the episodes on the GridCast, but also off the GridCast. So signing off now. Thanks for watching. See you later.